Open up this. We ready? Okay, we're ready. Welcome. This is the planning commission regular meeting of Tuesday, July 21st. Our first order of business is pledge of allegiance. You're welcome to join us if you'd like. Mr. Lee.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner McFadden, if you could do roll call, please.
Mr. Manning.
Here.
Ms. Osmond.
Here.
Ms. Brown.
Here.
Ms. Webster.
Here.
Mr. Butler.
Here.
Mr. McFadden.
And Mr. Stannis.
Mr. Stannis emailed me that he would not be here tonight.
Is absent. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, I need approval of the agenda as submitted. And we all have notified that Mr. Capizzo has asked for withdrawal of his application at this moment in regards to his site plan amendment and similar use determination.
Capoletti.
Oh, Cavalier, sorry.
Mr. Capoletti requested it for.
Yes. Yes.
Requested
to postpone.
So
Postpone. So therefore, under new business, we only have one item, and then all the other communications. Are there any other additions?
There's just one typo on number 4, the approval of the minutes, that should be May 26th,
Okay, thank you.
but it's correct on the minutes themselves.
So I'll move to approve the agenda.
Okay, Mr. Butler has made the motion,
Said I'll support.
and Mr. Manning has supported. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, agenda is as amended, accepted. Approval of the minutes of May 25th, excuse me. Is it the 26th? 26th, pardon me. And we know we've received, the minutes are a synopsis of our meeting. So do realize that it's not a verbatim, in regards to the minutes. So as we review the minutes, as we always, please make sure that the synopsis is correct. If in fact a person wishes to see the entire meeting, our recordings are available and they're kept for 1 year. So this realizing that the correspondence that we received from Coastal Alliance will in fact be added to our correspondence as we have done in all our meetings. So their documents that we received by email will be a part of the package and will be part of noted in the correspondence. Okay, so I will go back to the minutes of May 26th. Any corrections on page 1?
Gordon's last name still needs to be corrected. It says Stanish.
Yes, so Pam, throughout the minutes, Stannis is doesn't have the H on his last name.
Perfect, thank
Throughout the entire minutes. Okay. Anything else on page 1?
Under new business, in the third paragraph, the sightline conditions should be plural.
Do you see that?
Subject to the conditions outlined.
You see that, Pam?
you.
Under new business, paragraph 3,
Yes.
paragraph 4, excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else on page 1? Page 2.
Miss Gordon's name is also.
And I wonder also the next to last paragraph, where it says Webster addressed the lengthy Coastal Alliance. Should we correct that to indicate that it was Mr. McFadden, Commissioner McFadden that made that comment?
Well, actually, I believe I made that comment first
Okay,
in regards to that particular document. And then that's when Ms. Wells mentioned that when we received it. And
okay,
then I think Mr.
okay,
McFadden,
so this is accurate then.
I believe it is accurate in regards to that, but Mr. McFadden also mentioned it as noted in her document is shortly after that, I believe he also mentioned it, something like that. So anything else on page 2? And on page 3,
In that paragraph, the longer paragraph, there's a sentence toward the end that says, no boats shall tether together, no more than 5 boat slips, no new dock, and boats parallel park. I think it should read, no additional docks to be built, and boats shall only parallel park.
do you see where that is, Pam?
I got that.
One thing that I would recommend that instead of you using the word NA, probably none was a better word that we should
Okay.
use throughout, that
That's a good
there
point.
were so, data is non, correspondence non, instead of NA. Keep him,
Got it.
okay. Okay, with that,
Denise, can I ask a question?
yes,
The pact, I understand that the communication that was received by email from the Coastal Alliance prior to this meeting
Yeah.
was part of it. Is the communication that was handed to us at the beginning of this May 26th meeting, since that was never emailed to Ms. Wells, is that something that is part of the record and available, or?
I would say yes, and we should probably include it in today's minutes, in regards to the correspondence, so it'll be both, the document associated with the minutes,
Mhm.
as well as Ms. Gaunt, I think it's pronounced,
Copy mine.
that she had in regards to her public comment, as well as the document.
Okay, so
Those should-
that 17-page document is part
Yes.
of the, okay,
It's
just.
part of the, should be included in the correspondence.
Okay,
Okay, are there any other, I'm sorry, and there's the last page.
oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Page 4. And once again, Stannis' name will be corrected. And as well as a motion, the third bullet motion in regards to, the changes that are going to occur to that motion, ma'am,
Regarding about the docks.
just a copy and paste. On page 4.
Right.
Okay, thank you. So with that, I need a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So,
Mr. Butler? Support. Ms. Osmond? Any other corrections? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Wonderful, thank you very much. The next order of business is the public comments. Again, the commission requests that speakers, respect the 3-minute time limit for individual comments and 5-minute time limit for individual speaking on behalf of a group. We would appreciate if you would inform us what that group is that you are speaking on behalf. This is not a question and answer session. It's just an opportunity to voice your thoughts with the Township Planning Commission. I will first address those in the audience, and then I'll ask if anybody on Zoom also wishes to go on the public comments. So with that, I'm happy to open the meeting for public comments. Does anybody wish? Go to, come on up. And if you could state your name and address, please.
Thank you. Elaine Starr-Isley. I am the executive director for the South Dunes Coastal Alliance, so I do not have an actual address in the township. Apologies. But I do want to thank you for including our letter and our comments in the board packet. And I appreciate Commissioner Manning's inclusion of the supporting document that was submitted by Bobby Gaunt on the 26th. We do want to reiterate that we would have preferred a more complete record, but recognize that you have technically complied with what we're required to do. So I appreciate you also understanding that the recordings will be available for you. So, thank you.
Thank you. Sure.
Is it permissible to hand out, or is it too late to do that?
No, you're welcome to do
It'd be
that.
helpful,
We will be happy to note that as that correspondence also is received.
This will be a little bit easier to follow the comments, but that. I have 8 copies, there should be enough to go now, plus recording secretary. My name is Scott Reynolds. I am the president of the Wishbone Pet Rescue Alliance. That's what I'm speaking on behalf of this evening. I don't know how many of you are familiar with what we do, but we run the Wishbone House, which is located in Douglas currently, Blue Star. We do a variety of things. We support the Allegheny County Animal Shelter with volunteers. We provide housing and adoptions and adoption programs. We also provide pet food pantry services for the underserved in the Allegheny County, so they can keep their pets that are in their homes. We also assist with foster and adoption of animals out of the shelter, and we do spay and neuter programs to try to decrease the number of pets that are, weeding in Allegheny County. And we've been around for some number of years. I personally have been involved to some degree since 2007. So that just kind of gives you a little framework. Recently, we had an individual who passed away and left us a little bit of money, which was quite kind of them. To that end, we were able to purchase a lot here in Tuckahoe Township on the corner of 134th and Blue Star, which is what you see represented on the maps in front of you. And there are two maps, I guess, or drawings. The first one is just the open survey. It kind of gives you the overall description of the lot with the placement of the trees and the current structures. And then there is a preliminary concept plan. And I know I'm not here this evening to get any kind of approvals. I know that's a long and laborious process, so I'm not here to do that. But because we are a nonprofit, we have limited funds. And the next step in our project or program would be to get with an architect and also with a like Netterbell survey company to do a full site plan. And those two things together cost a lot of money. And before we invest those funds, I wanted to come before the board tonight and just say, hey, conceptually, is the board okay with what our presence, I guess, if you will, right? We know that you guys have placed a lot of emphasis on maintaining the Blue Star corridor and having a certain representation for the community, which we wish to respect. And I want to stay up front, but I did look at the zoning ordinances. I've spoken as well as a couple of times just to kind of sound out her thoughts on the matter. I believe everything we're proposing falls under the current zoning. And we are certainly prepared to comply with whatever architectural requirements are there in terms of what the presentation looks like. I understand those have been upgraded and changed as well. Gave me a couple of reference points of newer buildings to look at. So the three things I'm mostly concerned about, if you look at the concept plan, what we are looking for is over 8,000 square foot building. And it's a tight fit. It's one full of 1.38 acres of land. And to make that work, it's a tight fit with the retention pond and everything else. So that's the first thing, right? And why we're trying to build this is we're trying to get all of our operations under one roof. Currently, it's scattered about. The Wishbone House currently is a bit of a money pit. It's an older structure and it just doesn't meet our needs anymore as we kind of grow. So the 8,000 square feet, give or take a few, is designed to house some offices, some admin space, relocate a resale shop there, which again is currently at the Wishbone House, have a small surgical room, and then a large portion of it will be, about half of it will be, less than half, got to be like a warehouse storage space where we can have our pet food, pet supplies that we can sort and get out to the community through that. So I also we would like to have a small set of kennels there, probably 4 to 5, which we can bring animals from the current shelter on a temporary basis to facilitate their interaction with the public, right? Because people want to meet animals and see them and pet them and get to know them. It also helps move animals out of the shelter. It would not be a kennel long term. It's not meant to be that kind of thing. It's meant to be a short stay for them to come in and meet the public and be visible. Our cat housing would also be in that place, that's currently at the Wishbone House. Those are just simple cat rooms, are pretty easy to contain. The small surgical suite, as I mentioned, the spay and neuter and minor medical procedures that we'd like to expand to. And then again, our offices, so that's kind of what is going to be in the building. So that's my first concern is, does that kind of comport with what township is hoping to draw or have in the community? The second thing is the orientation of the building. Currently, the way it's laid out, the parking, any parking would be away from Blue Star, so it would be not visible from Blue Star. I had some indication by someone I was speaking with who said, oh, well, they won't like that, they want to have the parking on the side of Blue Star. I'm like, well, that's probably not going to work for us. So that would be a concern that we have, is that a parking is not visible from Blue Star, it would be on the opposite side of the building. And I'll point out that the access to the building would be off of 134th, not off of Blue Star. The current access point to that lot, if you're familiar with it, comes off of 134th Street because of the grade of the lot. So that's the second concern. The third one is regarding to the legacy trees. I understand that it's a big commitment to try to preserve those as much as possible, and that's what we wish to do. Again, given the tight space, the layout, we would have to take some of those trees out. We are certainly more than happy to replace those with new plantings and things like that. And we would try to keep as many as possible. But on the little map I gave you, I tried to take a red marker and kind of show you where the current outline is based on the Alta survey. So I don't know if it's appropriate. I know it's not a question and answer period, but I'm throwing that out there. I guess if you have any questions or concerns, I'd be glad to hear them. But before we invest all that money, I was really hoping I'd kind of get, yeah, you know, that would conform with what we're trying to do here, or no, I don't think so, don't even bother. I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking for, because it's really a decision point for us. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thank you. Fortunately, we as commissioners cannot respond to them.
I know, again, I'm dying to ask him if he's gonna love music, but.
You won't have to bother me.
And I encourage you to continue to work with Ms. Fox.
But I shall do that.
Thank you.
And she's been, oh, she's here. So she's been extremely helpful in the whole process. So the board should be very proud of what she does, because she's an excellent resource.
Thank you. I see we have two other people in the room with us. Did you wish to come forward? No? Is there anybody on Zoom that wish to speak? Please raise your hand.
Not see one.
Okay, then therefore I will close the public comments at this time. We have nothing under old business. Under new business, we have, approval letter to MSHDA related to the housing readiness grant. It was, penned by Lieutenant Karen. Thank you. Well, I know that.
On our signatures, we have. But feel free to edit and modify.
Ms. Lene, you wish to make any?
Sure. This is a letter to the Michigan State Housing Development Authority. They are the ones who authorized the housing readiness grant that we received, and that grant was used to do the housing survey that Progressive did. It was used to analyze our zoning ordinance and recommend changes. They crafted that potential hamlet district that was presented to you all. To close out the grant, the language in the grant application said that everything would be adopted. And we let Michigan know, well, wait, we're still discussing this. We have a big master plan that we're gonna be kicking off in the new year. That grant is to be awarded in October. Kate White, who was recently hired by the township, is gonna be helping to lead some of the steering committee in that master plan process. So we spoke with Liz Faulkner, our grant administrator, and she said, okay, to close out the grant, why don't we get a letter from the planning commission that says that you are committed to continuing this ordinance change process and recognize that it's something that's gonna be looked at as part of the master plan and that way we can get reimbursed for the costs to date. So that is the letter. I can make any changes.
No, I did read it, I just signed it.
Well,
I should check it out.
See, you wish to make any, changes?
You wanna make your changes, do what?
Yeah. Does anybody have any comment? Take Jackie, do? Okay, well, I don't know if they want to just pass that on, or.
I think just,
Do you want me to send you the draft or something, or do you wanna just hand that to me and I can make it?
It's more grammatical.
I couldn't understand what the purpose of the letter was for, but now I know. That makes sense now.
Okay.
Okay.
Dotting an I.
Well, we want commit us to anything specific, because I don't know how this planning process.
Sure.
Okay, perfect.
Anybody else have any other,
Need a motion to approve the letter?
do you need a motion to that we,
Yeah, that would be great.
So moved.
okay, a motion to, approve the letter and submit it to the housing readiness grant?
I'll support.
And Mr. Manning supports?
Do I have to recuse myself since I wrote it?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you very much, and thank you,
Thank you.
ladies.
I'll finalize this and then Steve, leave it at the front desk for you to come in and sign.
Sure, yeah.
Wonderful. Communications, besides the correspondence that we've talked about, from, Coastal Alliance, we have some letters from Tito. I'm guessing that that's gonna move over to the meeting when it comes forward. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, make sure everybody keeps their packet in regards to, the application at this point, and then if something changes, we'll add to that.
As a matter of form, there was one comment that was kind of irritating. He said, why are we wasting time on this? You know, it's just a good thing to be doing. Well, we're wasting time because it's not non-compliant, trying to help out the property, right? I don't know.
You're gonna start using common sense.
He's fighting back.
Anything else, Renee, any updates on any of our projects that are going on? Yeah. Pretty
Let's
busy
see.
on, Blue Star.
Blue Star continues to be rocking. I think the Saugatuck Lodging is called the Venetian.
Yes, I believe it is.
Okay, so I saw that there's some park models. Again, there were some staged by Blue Star, but I saw some on the drive. Singapore Retreat is continuing.
Have they opened up 135 yet? You know, I should know this, but
Not to, no.
not the local traffic.
Only local.
I haven't seen it. It's gotta be close to being done though. Okay.
And then Blue Star Bend, I don't know that they've done much over
The
there.
guys come straight.
Okay, they've been cutting trees.
Oh, yes. Very, very, well, I was in that neighborhood here all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're clearing up.
And then we are, we've had a few enforcement items over on Lake Shore Drive that we're following up on, with the county, with Eagle, with Army Corps, with ourselves. If you have any specific questions, I'm happy to answer after the meeting. The data center ordinance, I did send that draft to our township attorney. We prepared a public hearing notice for the August meeting, so the draft will be here for that.
Lenny, as we're on that, I understand the state of Michigan might be doing something associated with data centers. Is our ordinance going to be in conflict with that? I'm not sure, I haven't seen anything recently, it's been a couple weeks.
I haven't seen anything recently either. If the state were to do something, we can't be less restrictive than whatever the state puts out. We may also not be able to be more restricted depending on how the laws are changing. So I think that I don't know the status. I guess I would say it would our moratorium is being extended for another several months to get this adopted. If there comes a time when we're in conflict, we would immediately, take action and work with our attorney.
I know this is a hot topic, nationwide, not just in the state of Michigan, nationwide.
Probably gonna end up in space.
I don't remember the names of these places, but the one at the Rotary, you know what's going on with them? They pulled the last meeting, they were trying to present the last,
You mean the enclave?
whatever the name.
Oh, the
Oh,
library,
yeah.
Johnny Walker.
Johnny Walker,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you. So we have a meeting with him next week. There are some zoning interpretation items that he sought legal opinion on. And will be furnishing us a letter of that legal, or me, township staff, a letter on those legal opinions. And then we would work with our township attorney on that and kind of listen and learn. So the first meeting, see what they're saying, and then go on from there. But they want to have some interpretation ironed out before they finalize their parallel plan, because they know so much hinges on that. He did say in an email that he's looking to reduce the unit count to around 35. And
His base was 32.
his base was 32, but that parallel plan was,
Oh.
had issues, yeah.
Yes, it did.
So I think he was maybe looking at a base of, I don't know, a base of some number in order to have 35 units. So I guess there's probably like a pro forma number and then a parallel plan and a bonus. So that all is still pending. And I did recently get an application that I haven't looked at yet from North Shore over at the Pine Trail Camp. He is looking to rezone part of that camp to do a retreat center, like a rural business. He'd like to rezone to ag and have some crops, like vegetable crops, perhaps have like a membership supper club. I haven't read all the narrative yet, but
Does it have to be rezoned in order to grow?
it has to be rezoned to have that retreat type of use to ag, which is where we allow that.
But wouldn't that be considered a spot zoning, because the ag's not up this way?
There is not ag around.
So I don't know,
So
yeah,
it would
so-
be, it has to be rezoned to ag and then could go into a PUD. Like ultimately it's a PUD, but to have the uses you want, you have to have that base zoning.
Would we also consider conditional zoning?
We could do conditional rezoning, could.
It just as a thought, because
Yes.
again, I think of
Yes,
ag,
I would talk to
we're not
them,
even
yeah.
ag up this way.
Well, conditional rezoning would still be zoned to ag. But it is a way to accommodate that spot.
Okay, thank you for, something to think about.
It's layered,
Yeah.
some layered spots.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the interest is to keep that, I don't know who's been back there, but there is a sort of historic, the cafeteria building. A mid-century modern building, and we'd really like to maintain that and bring it back to use, so it was historically a food type of building.
I always wondered what he was going to
With
do.
restaurant, but he's not interested in, from my understanding, the public.
Yeah.
Having it be open to the public, that it would be.
Aren't there like, isn't it just like 5 cottages?
He's got 5 cottages, there's the cafeteria building, that's just.
Yeah,
the
so the
cafeteria
5
line.
cottages are going to use that cafeteria building for,
Then there are also 3 buildings on site that are duplexes that were built in the early 2000s. And then there would be, I haven't read his,
Well, yeah,
but yeah,
sure.
I don't want to speak on it, sorry.
Yep.
That's good to know.
That'll be an interesting discussion.
they always are.
Okay, anything else, Ms. Wells?
No.
Okay, anything from planning commission members?
Has anybody gone out when they put that, storage lake in off of Allegan Road? You know, see they're building homes around it?
Sand mining? Oh, the top grade one.
Yeah, top grade, that
Big house.
big houses.
There's a lot of houses back in there, further through.
Yeah, oh, I think it is. I'm just, has anybody gone out and looked at the banks? Because there was a severe angle to those banks, and if the greenery is not taking and holding those banks, bad things can start happening. So I just wondered, I guess, or maybe alert our building inspector, because he's gonna be going out there anyway. I would just look at the banks around that pond. Because, if it's not maintained, those banks will slip. And that would be a shame to see some of those big homes start sliding down, so. It'd be exciting.
Yes, it would.
Like a little mini high risk erosion area.
Yeah.
I think the closest one is a community center,
Okay.
which is surprising, because again, it's like, there aren't that many houses back there.
You go back down to that road? There's probably about 4, right?
Right now, there were maybe 8 lots. Or 6, I don't remember, but there was
I
that.
don't know, just the prior community I was in, there was a man-made lake, and they didn't maintain the banks. And the homes around the lake started sliding into the lake. That very exciting.
All right.
Don't need to see that excitement.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, we worked with Top Grade on the bank restoration and topsoil and the vegetation and kind of closed out that, and then now it's now privately owned, but we'll see what we can follow up on.
You know, it wouldn't hurt to just peek.
I'm not surprised.
Anybody else? I just have a couple. Just a reminder to the commissioners that when we have a special use, application, is that we need to be very, very careful in regards to looking at the standards in section 15.4. I know Lene talks about it in her report, but as we look at it in regards to approvals or denial or postponement, is that and your thoughts in regards to those standards, and I think it's 15. Did that right?
Yeah, 1540.
0.4, and again, Ms. Wells does talk about it in her report, so please look at that very carefully, and then in our discussion and so forth, and it might even be associated with the motion, that those standards are thought about, and we need to, as a planning commission, be better about that part of it when special land use comes forward. The other thing is, I wish to just to make a general comment in regards to the Blue Star Highway. And the only reason why I'm bringing it up is we continue to have the development along that road, and those of us who live next to this road to try to get across to the trail and so forth. And as you watch, it's really becoming more and more hazardous. And I would encourage the township I know that our Blue Star safety is under future projects. I would be hopeful that this township would consider to bring it up into more current projects as the Blue Star, and especially when we're going to do the Hamlet and we continue to have development along this particular road. So, I just wanted to make that comment. Anybody else? Anything? I do not. No?
I would just, I understand that, you know, short-term rental is a big 800-pound gorilla. And it's something that, many of us think would be better tackled with looking at a master plan and how does that fit in? The only thing I would throw out, just as a person who lives in an area that has a lot of short-term rentals, there are some, I'll call them more minor issues that I think might be, we shouldn't necessarily delay for 2 years by the time we get a master plan and whatever. And like one simple thing is just an abundance of garbage. And, you know, so there are overflowing garbage cans and garbage bags that are left out. And one of the major garbage service company picks up at like 8 AM on Monday. And for people who are leaving a rental at 10 AM on Monday, they can't be coming to clean until, you know, between 10 and 3. And so this garbage is left out at the curb, you know, almost all week until the following Monday. And there might be simple things that might be considered that wouldn't be biting off the whole enchilada. But looking and saying, I've read other communities where they say if there's a rental that can, you know, is billed as more than 6 people, you need to have 2 garbage cans. And it's a simple thing. It isn't intrusive in terms of saying to people, you know, we're gonna shut down your short-term rental. But it's a simple thing that keeps garbage from being accessible to wild animals and things. But there might be a couple little, I would call them little things, but I think might have an impact that we might consider before we dig into that whole issue from a more 30,000 foot level.
Okay, so my understanding with short term is not part of our zoning ordinance, it's part of the township board. Cindy, if you could take that concern to the township board and whether we can move forward and maybe with money, I'm not sure where that happens, but realizing that is a concern as well as the Blue Star Highway, short-term rentals that, again, it's a discussion, so if you could take that to the board.
I can do that, and I would just also comment that since Saugatuck City changed their regulations for short-term rentals, there has been a bit of an influx of new short-term rentals here.
The longer,
Here in the town.
Expected it, yes.
the longer we wait, the harder it's going to be to slow down.
There are people who are buying properties just for building homes in the
Yeah.
township, just to be short-term rentals.
Yeah.
Right.
You could take
I
it,
live in an HOA where it's not permitted.
correct,
Probably, I don't know about anybody else.
short-term rentals are a lot of hard.
I think there are certain pockets where it's more financially successful to do that. You see,
Any other comments from the commissioners? Cindy, anything from the township board that you wish to share?
No, they did pass that ordinance that says if your well fails and you have public water available, you have to connect to the public water. And also one that says if you're putting in a new water service and it's plastic, you do have to have a metal tracer wire so you can relocate it in the future.
All right, anything else? Okay, then our next item on our agenda is the second public comment. We welcome again the commission, if you wish to come forward. Same rules apply, 3 minutes as an individual and 5 minutes as a group. If you could let us know what group you're talking about. This is not a question and answer session. It's just an opportunity to voice your thoughts with the Township Planning Commission. I will ask the audience first, and then go to the Zoom. So I will open the public comment. You're just here to enjoy us, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, is there anybody on Zoom who wishes to speak? Please raise your hand. All righty, then I guess we'll close the second public comment. So with that,
Motion adjourned.
Mr. Butler, a motion, anybody in support? Okay, Mr. Brown, put somebody else's name on there. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, guys. Well, that's pretty good. Very nice.
Is that a record?
wow.
I'm gonna need to get another reading packet because I didn't draw drawings. And everything. Used to have two.
You try.
We tried.
Well, thank you. Thank you for what you did with-
Weird that you didn't have the drawings.
I did. I have.
Oh, you did. Okay.
This is all that I can do, I can send the new one.
It seems like this would be.
Yeah, there's trading and
Go, Doug.
I
I'm
think
thinking I
you
could
guys
go.
could carpool, you can we could.
Well, I was thinking Lawrence just because
Yes.
I don't need any Christmas ornaments.
Correct. And Taylor and I don't need to go. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on my,
I think Danielle or Lori.
Data center, short-term rental. You know, the first two is just the fact that the renewable energy is kind of interesting too. Okay, so, what do we need to do in order to?
I would, email or call, stop in, work with Lori.
I think we just go to Lori and say,
Okay,
we'd
yeah.
like to sign this up.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's great, because
They're
I
not-
think our bylaws suggest that you do training.
Yeah, at least one.
Well, and especially being a new person,